If you're a type of a man who built something real, a business, a career, a life that took discipline that most people don't have, then this is for you. On a paper, you are catch. Successful, intelligent, ambitious. You achieved goals that most men only talk about. You go on a date. Conversation is good. She is engaged. And then it goes nowhere. And you can't explain why. Seems like there's no logical reason. The data just doesn't add up. Or maybe you just stopped trying altogether. You build a life that most men would envy. But there is no one to enjoy it with. No one to go out with. Because most of your friends are settled, and often you are the only one without a partner. And you find yourself asking a question that you never expected to ask. What is all of this worth if there's no one to share it with? Before I show you what's really happening inside you, let me kill one very important belief. This is not your imagination. The dating market has really changed, and it's changed in a very measurable ways. Divorce rate today sits between 40 to 50%. The share of adults who are still single jumped up to 75%. And the dating apps you were told to use convert roughly 1 to 3% for men. See, that's not a dating pool. That's a slot machine engineered to keep you pulling the lever. So if it feels harder than ever, it's not your imagination. The terrain really shifted. But still, terrain is not your real problem. Because still, plenty of men out there are succeeding in this exactly same terrain. So the question that actually matters is not what has really changed out there, but what is happening in here. What are you doing wrong? And that's where it gets super interesting. Here's the most important thing that I can teach you. And once you understand this, half of your dating confusion will disappear. Why can a man run a successful company and still go blank in front of a beautiful woman? Because the part of him that runs a company and part of him that creates attraction are two completely different systems. These two systems evolved millions of years apart, and they were built for completely different jobs. The first is your prefrontal cortex. Let's call it the CEO brain. It runs logic, language, planning, strategy, problem solving, and many other things. It's a part of a brain that you have trained every single day in your career, and that's where you excel. Business decision, financial planning, negotiation, leadership, it all lives there. And the second part is much older. The limbic and reptilian system. It predates language by millions of years. It runs fight or flight, fear, hormones, arousal, and basic dating drive. It does not understand words. It cannot be argued with. And it does not respond to logic. See, attraction is not computed in a CEO part of a brain. It's computed in a reptilian brain. Desire is an output of a much older system. See, your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that's genuinely impressive, cannot create a desire. You cannot talk a woman into it. Your greatest asset, the mind that built all of your success, is the one tool that's useless for creating desire. Let me explain why. You sit across a beautiful woman. You are witty, you are deep, she's leaning in, and then you drive home certain that something real happened. And then the text comes. You are amazing, you are so easy to talk to. I think we'll be great friends. See, for years you've taken that as a mystery, a rejection, or a proof that something is wrong with you. But let me tell you something, there is nothing wrong with you. It's just a targeting error. See, everything what you did in that conversation just lit up her prefrontal cortex. Her logical brain looked at you and concluded, a high-value man, intelligent, kind, makes complete sense on a paper. But her reptilian brain, the part that actually decides desire, feels nothing. That part was never touched or stimulated in that conversation. You spoke brilliantly, but you engaged wrong parts of her brain. And that is a friend zone explained on much deeper hardware level. He's smart, he's nice, but I feel no desire. The crucial word, I feel. She is not lying to you. The connection was real. It just happened on a part of a brain that does not produce attraction and desire. See, you spend whole your dating life optimizing the wrong variable. The thing that makes this much worse for you than for average men. To succeed at the level that you have, you had to master one skill above all others, and that is controlling your emotions. You train yourself for 20, 30 years to stay calm when others panic, to not react, to keep your face still in negotiations, to swallow frustration, to push your feelings aside, and to execute no matter your feeling underneath. That control is your professional superpowers. It's a reason you don't flinch when everything is on fire. It built your career. And here is what nobody warned you about, those superpowers. The signal a woman's reptilian brain is scanning is emotion. Raw, unfiltered, and expressed. The change, the polarity. The sense that there is a real man with a real desire sitting across from her. And that signal lives in a system that you spend decades learning to shut down. You didn't just suppress your emotions in a boardroom. You suppress them almost everywhere. You got so good at controlling what you feel that you went quiet on the inside, even when you didn't meant to. So when you sit in front of a beautiful woman, you are calm, measured, in control. And her other part of her brain reads that calm as nothing. No beat, no charge, no man underneath. But yes, don't get me wrong, your success still opens doors. Your wealth, your status. The life you built will get women's attention for sure. And it can even buy her time. But attention is not desire. And the woman who came in your life for what you have will never feel what makes love real. So let's follow this logic through its conclusion. The better you got at business, the more you reinforce the CEO brain and muted the reptilian one, which means the more successful you became, the weaker you got at creating desire. It's not your face, it's not your height or your bank balance. Your success did not transfer to this. It actively worked against it. Now, let me tell you who I am and why I do this. I'm a relationship coach and I specialize in helping men like yourself. I've been voted for the best dating coach in the world twice. And the reason why I understand this topic on a level that I showed you is simple. I didn't read it in a book. I had to figure it out, every part of it, the hard way, starting from a place most men can't even imagine. See, when I was 12 years old, on a Christmas night, a bullet came down out of the sky and hit me in the head. Where I grew up, people celebrated by firing guns in the air, and one of those bullets found me. 3 brain surgeries. Doctors didn't expect me to survive. I had to learn to walk again, to talk again. My whole life paused and rebuilt from nothing. When I finally came back to a school about a year later, my friends were growing up, they started dating. They had lives that kept going while mine stopped. I was in a wheelchair. I was behind. And when it came to women, to connection, any of this, I was completely lost. Nobody was out there to hand me a manual. And that was back in 90s, days before internet. So I became obsessed with it. I studied everything what I could find about attraction, about social dynamics. I studied everything about what actually draws a woman to a man. I worked harder on this than I worked on anything else in my life. I practiced, I failed, I adjusted, I tried again and again. And in the end, it worked. Not a little bit, completely. A boy who came back from 3 brain surgeries, unable to walk and talk, went on and built a life, a career, dating some of the most beautiful women in the world, Miss Croatia, owning a model agency, and living a dating life most men can only imagine. And then people started asking me, but how? First friends, then friends of friends, then strangers, then the word starts spreading around the internet. To be honest with you, I never planned to be a coach. Life just pulled me into it. And 26 years later, here I am, mentioned in the New York Times bestseller, The Game, interviewed by MTV, Playboy, For Him magazine, and many, many others. I coached thousands of men around the world, pilots, doctors, lawyers, celebrities, football players, even the members of the royal families. So whatever you are going through right now, however hard it feels, trust me, I've been through the worst version of it. But let me be clear what my work here actually is. I'm not going to rebuild you. There is nothing to be rebuilt. The man who creates attraction without thinking already exists inside you. He's just been buried under 30 years of self-control. And my job is to remove that interference, to teach you how to run both systems deliberately. The calm that builds your career and the heat that creates desire. Available to you on command, instead one drowning another. Think about how you learn how to drive a car. It was never a trick. It's a skill, repeated many times until it became part of who you are. This is no different. And that's a result. The men who stop wondering, can they connect with the right woman? Because they know they can. And that is not confidence, that's competence. And there is nothing more attractive than the man who has it. Let me give you an example. The man I worked with last year from Switzerland, Zurich, successful, well put together. 8 years in a relationship, and when it ended, he was 42 years old. And he hasn't been on a date since his mid-30s. And his words to me, then I don't even know where to start. We spent a week together. We worked on how he carried himself, his confidence, how he connected, and how to be a man again in this world after years of relationship. And within weeks of going home, he started to date again, confidently. And last time we spoke on the phone, he told me, I didn't think I will feel like this ever again. I thought that part of me was done. It wasn't. He just needed a hard reset. Another one, an entrepreneur that runs a company that eats every hour in a day that he has. He came to me with a real objection. Not about does this work or not, but time. He said to me, I don't have months to practice this. I rarely have a weekend free. So we used that free weekend. See, he didn't add anything new to his life. We took the same control that he uses to run the company to switch it off on a command, so the other systems could finally fire. He texted me 10 days later. He has been on 2 dates in that week. And he told me for the first time, he doesn't feel like he's on the work. It just feels like something he naturally does. Most men, after our work, they tell me the different version of the same sentence. I wish I have done this 10 years ago. And that's the point. This isn't about the volume. It's about access. And access doesn't take months to build. This isn't for everyone. Whether your divorce is behind you or still unfolding, what matters isn't timing. It's whether you are ready to do the work. If you're so deep in the crisis that you can't see past this week, then take a breath. But if you can still think about what kind of man you want to become, then the stage doesn't matter. This is for you. As well, if you're a man who's done trying to figure this out alone and you hired the best people in other parts of your life, you did it because you understand something most men don't. The fastest way through something difficult is rarely by yourself. And for some crazy reason, men take this area, dating, as an exception. They decided they should be able to handle this on their own, and that instinct cost them years. Time is the only thing that you cannot make more of it. Here's what I would like you to do. Below this video, there is a link for an interview, not a sales pitch. Why interview? Because I only work with around 20 clients per year. So I have to be very careful who do I take on. On the call, we will look at where you are at the moment and where you want to be and what's stopping you from getting there. And afterwards, if you're a good fit, you'll be invited to a second call where we will present you program built specially for you. So click the link, book the interview, and choose the right time that fits you. And one last thing, I'm not going to push you to book this interview. The men I want to work with, they don't need to be pushed. So let me be straight with you. If none of this landed, if you watched all of this and you felt nothing move, then we are not a fit. This is not for you. But if something in this resonated, you recognized yourself somewhere in it, and if you have an honest sense that you are kind of a man that I would work well with, then book the interview. Let's have a conversation and find out together. I keep very few of these slots open because I work with very few men per year. And I protect that for the men who are genuinely ready for the work. And if that's you, you already know it. And it will be my pleasure to work with you.